let us begin by honoring the Cheyenne, Ute, and Arapaho people of so-called Colorado and all of the indigenous people of the world. Let us honor their knowledge ways as pathways of liberation. Let us send love to all of the indigenous children, the babies, the little ancestors. May those taken by colonial violence and cultural genocide rest in peace and power. My name is Brittni Laura Hernandez. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I am feeling so grateful to be here with all of you today. I'm a Chicana, indigenous, queer educator. I was in the middle school classroom for 5 years. I am a mother, a daughter, a sister, a partner, a friend. I carry the medicine from the Montoya, Trujillo, Archibek, and Hernandez families, and I am honored to carry on their lineage. Thank you to my ancestors here with me today. May I be a vessel for a greater message. Today, I want to ask, what did you harvest this season? What seeds were planted? What ideas grew? What practices did you give life to? I want to ask, what will it take for all of us collectively to harvest sustainable and liberated futures outside of colonial systems and patterns? What will it take to truly listen to and follow the lead of indigenous, Black, and queer communities? What did you harvest this season? This season, I harvested peppers, calabazas, tomatoes, cucumbers, kale, basil, parsley, and marigolds. The Mexica people believe the marigold is the flower our ancestors can smell from the spirit realm. My grandpa Charlie used to plant marigolds all along the perimeter of his garden as deterrents to some bugs and invitations to the bees and the ancestors. What did you harvest this season? This season, I harvested the practice of listening. I practiced listening to my plants, to those I love, and listening to my gut, my instinct. What an incredibly difficult lesson this continues to be, but what an experience. What did you harvest this season? The COVID-19 pandemic has amplified the general public's desire to go back to old ways of life, to grow food, to build things, to homeschool even, whether out of necessity, extra time, or fear. The pandemic has also illuminated the work already being done by indigenous, Black, and queer communities to grow our own food, build our own things, and unschool our children. But the pandemic was not the catalyst for these communities. Our knowledge ways have been passed down from generation to generation. And so I ask, what will it take to truly listen to and follow the lead of indigenous, Black, and queer communities in order to build, to grow sustainable and liberated futures outside of colonial systems and patterns? My great-grandfather, Matias Archibek, came north to rural Colorado in the early 1900s and brought with him a bag of seeds from Trujillo, New Mexico. These were the seeds of the Mirasol chili plant. When Matias' son, Carlos, or Charlie, my grandfather, returned from the Navy, he and my grandma Laura bought a tiny home in East Greeley, Colorado, where they grew a family, a community, and a huge garden with the Mirasol chili peppers at the center. My family, my community, and this pepper provided models, sacred designs, pathways of what collective liberation could look and feel like. The Mirasol is a beautiful pepper that grows in clusters towards the sun, Mirasol. It can be harvested when it is red or green. It can be roasted or dried. And like all plants, it takes time, love, and intention to grow. Inherently, the Mirasol teaches us to grow together, to be adaptable, and to always look towards the light. Inherently, that's what all plants teach us, right? To invest time, love, and intention into our relationships. Chile is an indigenous plant to the Americas. It existed pre-contact and will exist long after. So again, I ask, what will it take to listen to remember, and to follow the lead of these sacred plants, these designs that exist in the stories and in our collective memory? What will it take for us to let go of colonial systems and patterns some folks are really attached to, like schools, for example? When I think of collective liberation, specifically in education, I think self-realization, community, autonomy. But when I feel collective liberation, I feel love, alive, wholeness. I hear laughter, I smell food and flowers. I do not believe in schools and education in our current colonial understanding, but I choose to do this work because I believe in people. I believe in the beautiful ways people bring life into school spaces, and there is so much possibility there, but only as a site for exploration and practice. Because as Audre Lorde said, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. Schools should be spaces of exploring who we can become and practicing what liberation and healing feel like. Then, may we take what we learn and mix it with what we already know to create loving places of learning and unlearning outside of colonial systems and patterns. Indeed, many people are already doing this and have been for generations. As we move into the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere, let us take inspiration from the chile plant. Gather your harvest. Let die what must. Compost and grow again. May the land and our hearts be healed. Mirasol. Mirasol. Thank you.